todo mundo que está participando aqui dessa capacitação da Womex. É a nossa primeira live, em parceria aqui a Dreamland e a BM&A. A gente está fazendo essa capacitação com alguns convidados e a gente vai passar por diversos temas nessas lives, né? Dentre eles, a experiência da Christine, que é a nossa primeira convidada, da Piranha Arts, uma agência lá da Alemanha, que ela é head da Womex, então eles produzem a Womex desde 94. A gente tem o prazer de receber ela aqui para falar um pouco mais sobre a feira, e a gente vai ter no final também uma parte para tirar as dúvidas. Então, essa capacitação tem alguns convidados, né? Essa é a primeira. A gente vai ter aqui a nossa agenda para vocês participarem também. Hoje com a Christine, falando um pouco mais sobre o conceito da Womex, a história da Womex. No dia 13 vai ter o Daniel, que é o gerente de projetos aqui da BM&A, falando sobre o que você precisa levar para a feira, as melhores práticas, os materiais, uma parte um pouco mais prática, né, de como que vai ser o nosso dia. No dia 14 a gente vai ter a Dani Ribas, que também está na delegação brasileira, falando um pouco sobre as experiências dela nas feiras internacionais, como que a gente aqui do Sul Global também consegue unir, né, essa parte do nosso soft power com o resto do mundo. No dia 17 vai ter o Flávio, que é o nosso presidente aqui da BM&A, que está aqui na chamada também, falando um pouco sobre os cases e a importância da Womex dentro de uma trajetória da música. E por último, no dia 20, o André Bourgeois, falei certo, Flávio, o sobrenome dele, que é da Urban Jungle, que ele vai estar falando especificamente dos speed meetings. Então, essa live é muito importante para todo mundo que vai participar das rodadas de negócio. E aqui é a nossa agenda para vocês anotarem. Essa live também está sendo gravada, vou encaminhar no nosso grupo geral o link dela após essa live, para quem não conseguiu participar. E aqui eu tenho alguns recados antes de passar a palavra para o Flávio, que é sobre o nosso catálogo e sobre também os materiais que precisamos enviar para a nossa TV do stand. Então, o primeiro é o catálogo impresso. A BM&A sempre produz todo ano um catálogo que contém a delegação inteira, com o nome da empresa, né, o nome do representante da empresa com release, e depois 3 artistas ou serviços que vocês representam para conter nesse catálogo. Esse catálogo ele é distribuído dentro do nosso stand, então todas as pessoas que participam ou passam lá para fazer negócio ou para conhecer a delegação brasileira, acaba recebendo esse catálogo também. Então, a gente tem esse prazo do dia 13, pessoal, é muito importante a gente cumprir esse prazo para dar tempo para enviar para a produção, né? Então, a gente está próximo da feira, então peço para vocês que se atentem a esse prazo do formulário. E outra coisa é o vídeo também do stand. Dentro do stand brasileiro tem uma televisão que ele fica rotacionando em looping o vídeo das empresas da delegação desse ano. Então, eu vou encaminhar também aqui, ó, a Vida acabou de passar no nosso chat aqui do Google Meet, mas eu vou encaminhar no grupo também, os 2 links. O link do formulário, do catálogo, que é esse que eu falei, e o link dos vídeos. Então, o formato do vídeo é 1980 por 1080 até 2 minutos. Então, dentro desse link tem a pasta de cada empresa. É só subir o vídeo lá. Se não tiver o nome da sua empresa, é só criar uma pasta com o nome e inserir o vídeo lá. Se vocês tiverem alguma dúvida também, pode anotar que no final aqui da live a gente vai responder tudo, tá bom? Agora eu queria passar a palavra aqui para o presidente da BM&A, Flávio, para ele fazer uma breve introdução da Christine para a gente começar. Quem levantou a mão pode falar agora, por favor.
Sou eu, a Vida, aqui da Dreamland. Vou ligar minha câmera rapidinho. A gente também está com a Funarte acompanhando tudo, com a Gabriela Goy. Então, se precisarem de alguma dúvida, se tiverem alguma dúvida, a gente vai ter um momento no final da live para tirar todas as dúvidas. Só para avisar mesmo, porque a Lívia pediu para dar esse toque.
Obrigado, Vida.
Obrigado, Nairon. Obrigado, Vida. Obrigado, pessoal. Obrigado, Cristina, também, por estar aqui com a gente.
Obrigada.
Eu vou falar bem pouquinho para a gente ser bem ágil. A gente sabe que está todo mundo nessa época do ano, não só preparando a viagem, como levando todo o resto das nossas produções, né? Então, a gente está muito contente com mais uma edição do Womex da BM&A. Mais uma vez, a gente vai fazer um stand bem bonito. Como a Vida comentou e como vocês já sabem, a gente tem apoio da Funarte e também da Creative SP, aqui no estado de São Paulo. Então, fomentando a delegação, ou seja, a viagem dos empresários, mas também a nossa estrutura, nossa infraestrutura e o stand. E com a Funarte a gente fez essa parceria incrível esse ano, que teremos também um palco brasileiro, o palco Off Womex, que é um palco oficial, esse ano será um palco brasileiro, com 3 shows, então teremos 4 showcases brasileiros esse ano. Primeiro, Suraras do Tapajós, e no nosso palco Off Womex teremos o Esdras Nogueira, a Flaira Ferro e o do Badia Sac, Sérgio Pereira. Então, uma programação maravilhosa, além dos empresários que estarão presentes, que são, enfim, vocês que estão aqui participando. Então, acho importante situar isso para vocês, que a gente tem costurando todo esse tipo de apoio e estrutura do nosso stand. Desde o ano passado, quando a gente assinou novamente o nosso convênio com a Apex, que é essencial para a existência e para a participação da BM&A e da delegação brasileira, não só no Womex, mas em outros eventos da música. Vocês podem olhar lá no nosso site todos os eventos que a BM&A participa e, por consequência, vocês também participam. E, se tiverem interesse, podem falar com a gente. A gente também tem feito essas apresentações, essas formativas antes de cada evento. Essa do Womex aqui é muito especial justamente porque é feita com a nossa amiga Christine Semba, que é da Womex Academy. Ela é responsável por toda essa boas-vindas, essa acolhida, a parte de treinamento e da parte também internacional, né? Ela foi muito ligada à parte internacional da Womex durante muitos anos, então ela tem sempre essa pegada que se abre para o resto do mundo. Ela é a diplomata e a abridora de portas do Womex.
Diplomata, não.
Sim, diplomata, sim. E, então, eu vou passar a palavra para a Cristine. Ano passado, foi muito legal a apresentação dela. Tenho certeza que ela vem, dessa vez, com mais coisas interessantes. E vai ser legal para abrir. Assim, ela dá uma ideia para quem não conhece o evento, entender como funciona, e para quem já conhece, tem uma visão mais interna. Gabi da Funarte, quer dar uma palavrinha também, Gabi?
Oi, pessoal, bom dia. Queria só aqui dar uma boas-vindas rapidinha. A Eulícia, nossa diretora, está viajando, representando a Funarte numa reunião do Ibermúsicas. Então, queria só dar uma rápida boas-vindas aqui para todos, que tenhamos um ótimo trabalho, né, que a gente repita a ação do ano passado, que foi tão exitosa, né? Tão bacana, e que esse ano a gente tenha uma ação tão bacana quanto na Womex. Queria agradecer a todos vocês. E a Cristine, obrigada mais uma vez aqui com a gente. E é isso, pessoal.
Flávio.
Ok.
Christine, the floor is yours. Thank you so much.
Okay, obrigada. I'm so sorry. I understand pretty much everything, but I cannot speak. I speak only Portuñol, and this presentation will be in English. Also, it's good because Womex is an international platform, and anyway, English will be a language. You will have to speak a little bit, even if you will see most of us, me, the first, we speak in what we call international English, which means it's not Shakespeare English. So we use English to communicate, but it's not our first and language. So we speak it as we can. And so don't be shy thinking, oh my God, my English is not good. You can more English than you think, most of us. Can I share? I have a little presentation. Okay, present now. One second. Okay. I hope, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So we don't have so much time, so I will try to be fast and to answer as many questions as I can. It's good, I'm the first one, so if there are still some questions open, you will have more sessions. First, I would like to thank BM&A Funartes for the great partnership. Brazil, it's a very important country in the Womex world, and many great artists have started their international career at Womex. And yeah, we love Brazil and we love our partnership. So that's really something I can say on behalf of all my colleagues, not only on behalf of myself. And so what we will do today, I don't know if we have time to make a presentation round of every person. Maybe the only thing I would like to know, and you can put in the chat, is have you been at Womex before, or have you been, if not at Womex, at other music markets, music conference? If you can write that in the chat, that would be great. And okay, Danielle, of course, Danielle and Flavio, you are out of competition. But yeah, and it's also something I wanted to say, it's you are lucky, especially if you come for the first time, because you will see it's a little bit, you can feel a little bit lost, you know, coming for the first time in this big pool with so many people coming from different places, and people seem to know each other's. And you are coming with a great family, a great community, with a stand, with people who know really the Womex pool and the Womex environment, and that's really, really helpful. So I see that many are new. So that's cool. So first I will talk a little bit about Womex since it's different element. And then maybe, as you will have other session on tips, also concentrate a little bit of answering your questions. Let's see how we go. We will improvise as much as we can, but I'm sure we will get lots of valuable information. And let me know if it's something not clear, if you don't hear me well, if you don't see something well. Please make sure to give signs. Okay, first, a very, very quick history. Last year, it was a celebration of 30 years of Womex. I'm not with Womex since the beginning, but I'm with Womex since many years. I mean, my first Womex was in 2000, and I was more part of the team developing the content and the program until 2009. Then I spent more time working on other cultural and cooperation projects, international projects where Womex was still a partner. So I was still coming to Womex, but with a delegation as a speaker. So I've been in many different roles. And since 2013, I'm back in the team in Berlin. So Womex started 31 years ago in Berlin. And it's organized by Piranha or Piranha Arts in the meantime. And back then it was a gathering of more or less 200 persons, all of them being involved in working with international, highly international artists, being labels, being festivals, and the only common thing they had is working with music with some roots, local roots. That can be something very traditional, that can be something, as you will see at Womex, until very electronic, jazz, etc. But the common denominator is that there are some roots somewhere, even taken to very crazy or innovative styles. We usually don't like to call it world music because it doesn't mean much. Not to say it doesn't mean anything, because it can be traditional Japanese music, African hip-hop, Brazilian electro. So we prefer to call music by their genres. We prefer really to define the music because it doesn't make so much sense to say, okay, this is world music. Everything can be world music. It also depends where you are and where you are looking at. So the only possibly common denominator to all the persons you will meet at Womex is two things: curiosity. The Womex delegates, we see, are very, very keen to discover new things. It can be a tradition which has been almost forgotten. It can be also some completely new style. So it can be many different things. But these persons are curious and they are ready also to take risk. Imagine I'm a festival in Europe and I present some, I would say, very unknown music from the Amazon region. People here don't understand the lyrics, they don't have any relationship with this music. So it is also taking a risk to present that, but it's also the richness. It's also something which drives everybody. So that's also something you will see, which is a common denominator. And for example, most probably coming from Brazil will be more interesting for many of the European delegates than if you come from maybe a European country. So that's something also which is maybe not so usual in this international music sphere, where pretty much the periphery is put in the spotlight. Womex is a traveling event. Probably you heard about that. Our headquarters are in Berlin, even if we are an international team. And every year we carry this crazy event to another city, to another country, which means lots of production work. Luckily, it's not my part. I'm really big up to my colleagues on the production and also to the production of our local partners. So this has really developed on a very organic ways over the year. It didn't come from 200 person to the 2,000-3,000 we have now from one day to the other. It is something which grew organically. We have seen over the year, for example, many booking agencies appearing and more specialized is in global music. Also, we have seen more events, we have seen more media, we have seen many players. So these have helped also the structuration of all this sector. Last year we were in Manchester to celebrate the 30th anniversary. Now I will introduce you to different elements of Womex, because it is important that you really enjoy every element. And you will have a fantastic stand. And maybe it's tempting to say, I stay at the stand because it's my little bubble and I know the people, they understand me, but also get out of your bubble as soon as you feel comfortable. So first we have a trade fair, which is having very different stands. Over the years, which is super nice, many countries started supporting their music professionals, their artists, to participate to some music industry events. Like Flavio was saying, BM&A is very active in that. So we have some big stands representing countries, and I'm sure we'll have some dedicated sessions more talking about the stand dynamic, the organization and coordination. But also we have some smaller stands representing an organization, a company. Some unfortunately don't have countries supporting them. Some also want to show their own personality, their own brand, and have individual stands. The trade fair is good in many aspects. Of course, it helps you a lot to promote your work. We will get back to this a little bit later. Why are you coming to an event like Womex? Because you want to show your work, you want to promote it, you want sometimes to promote, some will say to sell, but I think before talking about sales, it's important to talk about making your activity known, making also some international potential partners aware about what you do. And then the next step, which is super important, is building relationship, building trust among partners. It's difficult, to go into a relationship with a partner, I don't know, in Spain, in Germany, if you don't know them and if you never heard about them and you just met online. So building this trust, building this relationship, understand how we work each other's and finding a common ground, it's the most important thing. I would say in terms of, objectives, you can maybe say, okay, I want to sell shows, I'm an artist representative. I would say that, of course, we understand perfectly. It is a final aim, but between, I have sold 3 shows, or I've made 5 very valuable contacts of potential partners, and we will then take it to the next level. And this can take time. This can make okay, you will sell then 20, 30, 40 shows. So sometimes it is also good to be patient and don't put yourself the pressure, I have to sell something right now. And it's my first time being there. Then we have the showcase program. We always have super nice Brazilian acts, very, very diverse. If you look on the website, on our previous editions, you have a huge list of Brazilian artists who have been selected to play Womex in the past. And many are still touring and on international stages. I will not go very far into the showcases. The only thing I can tell you is we have different formats. We have, in the daytime, we have 2 showcases every afternoon, which we call day cases. This is a stage which is more dedicated to acts which are very intimate, very, sometimes very acoustic, very special, and need special attention. That's why we put them in the day cases. At night, we have 5 stages running alternatively. So it is a marathon, and it is very difficult to see everything. And it's okay not to see everything. Even during the showcases, it is work. Everything is work. Even having a coffee is work, but it's nice work. Why is it work? Because in every moment you can meet great persons who can become very interesting partners for the future, or who will introduce you to very interesting partners for the future. So every person is an important person at Womex, and you are also part of this important community. So even during showcases, you can find inspiration in the way artists present themselves, the way they are promoted, the way the promotion is done on showcase. Also, it's important to check how is a professional audience reacting, because Womex, it's maybe one particularity of Womex. The audience you will see at the concert are to 90 to 100% professionals, which is nice because you will present yourself to a professional audience, but also some things which is important to know. The professional audience can be very hard. So if some of you have showcases here, please, I want to apologize, or I want to warn you, the professional audience is a difficult one. Why? Because even when we listen and check what's happening on stage, we will still network, we will still talk with some colleagues. And that's not an audience which seems super attentive. We will be very maybe cheering, and if you say, say yeah and clap your hands, etc., maybe it's not exactly the kind of audience. But we are very attentive, even if we don't look like that. But we are at the same time also catching up with some partners, with some colleagues, and that's normal. So it's good to be warned. Also, especially during the nighttime showcases, people go in and out at any moment because we have also other bands to see. So if you have a showcase, don't feel completely like scared. Oh my God, they're going after 10 minutes, after 15 minutes, they don't like my show. Yes, maybe we like your show, but we have seen enough and we have to see the next band. So don't get too scared by this audience. It is important to know about it. Also an important thing, if you are here to promote, to catch up, to connect with people, even if you are interested in some areas, in some concerts, we think, wow, some Finnish rock bands, I never saw them. Great, of course, go and see them. But in case of doubt, if you're hesitating between two artists, go first to the artists which are closer to what you are doing, because there you will meet the like-minded audience. Because of course we have a very broad program. Some delegates are pretty crazy and they see pretty much every show, but they don't talk with people, they just run from one show to the other. Some others, they will concentrate on what is more what they are programming, for example. I don't know, if I have a small concert hall, I will go first to see the more intimate concerts. If I have a big festival, I will go and see rather first the big stage, the big bands, the big acts. Some also are more specialized in a geographical area or more in acoustic things or more in club and electronics. So of course they will go and see in the first place these acts. Also the conference, extremely important. I'm very involved in the conference programs, of course, maybe I'm not objective, but there are many, many things to take from the conference. It is also a very nice way to meet like-minded people in a very relaxed way. Just because you attend the same conference and maybe somebody says, a conference speaker says something, or somebody in the audience afterwards ask a question or make a comment, and then you say, oh my God, it is exactly what I'm thinking. This is exactly the same problem I have. Then go and talk with this person, or you can say, you know, it is exactly my problem, or I have to share an experience in that. And it's a very nice way to connect. Because whatever we're doing, actually what we are really doing during 5 days is connecting and exchanging. I will go very fast through the conference program later, so I leave it for now. Also, we have a very nice documentary film program. Sometimes you feel, yeah, don't have so much time for that, and we understand. So it is still very interesting. We have, for example, an absolutely beautiful movie about Hermeto Pascual, and I'm sure many of us will go to see this movie. But it's important the same. You can meet very interesting people also, because what we want to do at Womex with the film, we are not pretending to be a film festival. What we're pretending to do is make a platform, because the musics we work with, more specifically, are very visual, are maybe more, I don't want to say more interesting, but maybe more special than, okay, I have a pop band from around the corner. Of course, if we talk some traditions from another part of the planet, if we talk about an event being very, very unknown, this is way more visual. And what we want to do is to facilitate the connection with filmmakers, film productions, artist representative events, also to make sure they can connect. We had many times some filmmakers or production who made connections during Womex and then started a new movie. So that see it in this also way of potential partnership, potential future collaborations. Also, especially if you come for the first time, it is pretty overwhelming to come to Womex and you feel, oh my God, so much information, so many people, etc. So films are also a nice way if you need a little bit of time. Oh my God, I cannot talk anymore. I cannot see people anymore. Stay in the Womex bubble. Go to watch a movie, for example. We have also a quiet room if you feel really it's too much for me. I need a quiet break. Go to the quiet room. Don't go back to your hotel. Stay in the Womex bubble and find a little bubble where you will feel more comfortable. And don't push yourself too hard because it's 5 intense days. We have also on the Wednesday at night, we have the Womex opening. It is always presenting some local music. So this year is going to be Finland, of course. And even if some of you think, I'm not sure I'm a big fan of Finnish music, okay, bad luck, because you will see some Finnish artists and Scandinavian artists this year. But go, because you will learn also new people, you will meet people, you will see amazing artists. And after we have always a reception where it's a very good way to start connecting with people. So don't miss it. Also on Sunday midday, I would say we have the Womex Award. It is always a closing ceremony, and also we give an award to a professional and also to an artist. Last year it was Hermeto. And it is also, don't think, oh my God, I partied so hard the last night and I'm a zombie. There are only zombies on this Womex Sunday. So come anyway and meet other zombies. I meet every time on the Sunday, the last hours of Womex, I meet people I didn't manage to meet before. So don't think, oh my God, I cannot just, I lost my voice. It doesn't matter. Come. And I'm sure we'll still meet people you didn't met before. So it's all okay. This is a zombie reunion. It's usually close to Halloween, so that's perfect. Also, we have every year a partnership with what we call the EBU, European Broadcasting Union. It is a union of public radios in Europe. And every year, a public radio of the country we are is a partner. The radio studio is a nice thing, especially if you have a showcase or if you have some artists to present. It is an open space, so you can go. It's a small space, but there we have radio journalists who are doing their show live from Womex and broadcast to wherever they are, in Germany, in Switzerland, in England, etc. Or sometimes they record their show, they will then broadcast. That's also interesting to see, to connect with these journalists, because it's a very nice way to get into Europe. And also because they do some little live presentations. So that's also good, especially if you are there with artists, to contact them and say, hey, we are here with artists and we would be happy to make a little live session. Maybe it will not be the same that the showcase you will do, because you see on the picture, these are very small and intimate places, but they like to have artists who are doing 1 or 2 songs live, and that's a very great way also to promote. Very quickly also, for those who are not familiar with Womex, the way the program is done. We are doing the program not ourselves, because it's too much pressure first. We have around 100 countries coming to Womex every year. We even don't have a space for each country to have a showcase. I'm not talking about conference. So we cannot be organizers and also being the ones who make the selections. So what we do is we have a jury. We select the jury ourselves, and every year we have a different jury who make the program. So we receive every year like around 1,300, 1,500 proposals from all over the world. And these beautiful people have a very, very difficult task to make the selection. And unfortunately, it's impossible to have all the good artists, all the excellent artists. The only thing we give to them is criteria. We need so many artists from this continent. We need some artists for intimate stages. We need artists from rather bigger stages. We have to make sure one player, one label, one agency have 3 artists, for example. We have to make sure it's also professional distribution. But we don't have a vote. So every year we see great artists that we really love being selected, but each of us in the team have also some favorites where we think, oh, they would do great, and they're not selected. And that's part of the game, because not every excellent artist can be selected. So a little bit of luck is important. And for those of you who maybe have sent proposals and have not been selected or been on standby, please try again. Every year the jury is different, so the cards are mixed again. So that's really important. Same for conference. We see a nice tendencies in the last 2-3 years. We receive more conference proposals from Brazil. And we had very, very cool conference proposals from Brazil. And that's great. And please continue sending conference proposals, because this is also a very nice platform to present work or to discuss some area. Just maybe 2 tips if you want to make a conference proposal. We have 1 criteria to our jury. It's another jury doing the conference selection. Is not a place for self-promotion. We receive many proposals saying, okay, I want to present my company, I want to present my festival, I want to present my thing. Even if it's great, it's not a space. This is a space more to share information, to share knowledge, or to discuss some topics. So it is better to have a proposal inviting different organizations and share, discuss about topics than if you just send something saying, okay, I'm sending a proposal about my festival, my organization, then you will see your chances to be selected very, very low. Also about who is attending Womex. Okay, we know it's international, but which kind of audience? In the first place, we have agents, booking agents, managers, and artists. In the second place, we have the live sector, live events, promoters. But sometimes people tend to forget we have also lots around the recording and distribution and publishing. And especially for those who are working with artists or artists themselves, it is important to have both sides. It is important, of course, to tour, but sometimes it is challenging before costs, but it is also important to sell your recorded music, to make your recorded music being circulated. So don't forget also this part. Again, I will show you some of the conferences. We have, for example, this year a focus on sync with 2 sessions and very, very nice and super interesting supervisors and other people from this area. And if they are coming to Womex, it's because we're interested in maybe what is not very the English singing mainstream. So that's also our chances. We have also institutions, services, and also many journalists. So that's also a way to connect and to make your promotion. Also, regarding the geographical distribution, America is the second continent after Europe. But when we talk about Europe, we have many people coming from different diaspora. That means they're based in Europe, but they can come from Africa, from Brazil, from Colombia, from Japan. So definitely it's a more European-centered, but it is also a way to connect with the rest of the world. A few words about the Womex Academy. Yeah, we established it because we were seeing so many people investing to come to Womex for the first time, but they were not prepared at all. They even didn't know where they were going. And I hope we have 5 or 10 minutes more at the end of the session. We started a little bit later. To talk also about some tips about what to present, how to present yourself, or how to network, or what to expect. Because we have to be realistic in what can I achieve in the first time I come to Womex. Something, I will build a world tour. That's not really realistic. It takes a little bit more time and years, and you need to really build a network year by year, little by little, with circles getting bigger and bigger. But also you can achieve a lot. So it's good to know a little bit what is possible, but also about your promotional material. We see many people coming, for example, they don't have business cards. It can sound a little bit outdated, but a business card is still a great tool, because you can give a business card to somebody and ask a business card. I will show you the virtual Womex. You can access the contact of everybody who will be around, but it is a kind of symbolical way of starting connecting. So business card is important. Also, even if you have the huge luck to be with a big stand, with a delegation, which means you have this catalog where you will be featured, also bring your own promotional material. I'm sure it's going to be talked in other sessions, but it is important to think about your own promotional material and also about your online promotional material. It is also your chance to make sure, is my website updated? Is anything I should want to add? Because it will be the place where it is a moment where people will check your profiles. And that's a perfect link to the virtual Womex. But first I wanted to ask if everything is okay, no questions for now?
It's okay.
All good? Okay. So each of you being registered for Womex gets a virtual Womex profile. Of course, it's not a TikTok profile, it's not an Instagram, it's not a Facebook, whatever, but it is an important tool, and I will explain you why. And so I really, really advise you to fill your virtual Womex profile if it's not done yet, because it is, especially now, it is almost a little bit late, but it is a moment where people check who is coming, who are the persons I could meet. So this is a very good moment, and it would be a good opportunity you would miss if you leave your virtual Womex profile empty. So I explain you a little bit. In the virtual Womex, it is something which is different to other music conferences, or most of them. Of course, there is a database, like each of them, but what is different is the profiles stay. That means you will find profiles of companies and delegates who have attended previously, even if they are not coming this year. And as you have a profile for 1 year, access for 1 year, please don't forget to use this profile over the year, and I explain you why. So you have two things. You have your company profile and your delegate profile, each person. Sometimes this is a company profile, as you can see. You can see also the years of participation if they are stand. For example, this company, they came last year with 5,000. So a company can have different delegates, but each delegate has his or her own profile. This one is a company, but it's a one-person company. And he has this own profile, and it has also his company profile. So make sure to fill both. You can put your logo for the company profile, or you can put a picture, then you can put your own photo. And it is also something which is important because people can then recognize you. Regarding activities, make sure not to click too much. You have seen probably already, you have registered and you have put some of the activities, and this is how people will then find you. But just to make sure you have this full picture, and if you have questions, I'm happy to answer the question. Okay, this is another profile, for example, a company we heard about, and these are different people who have been registered over the years. The people who are active are the people with a little triangle. Now it will be 25. We see now Daniel with 24. It is a screenshot of last year. But you can see who is registered for this year. You see, it is easy to have a little profile. You just need a little biography. Don't put it too much to make sure you have your current phone numbers, email, and website. That's it. I go fast through that. Also, what you can do in Virtual Womex is you can publish news. News can be a new catalog, it can be a new tour, it can be an event, it can be many things. So you can, all over this year, you will be able to publish some news. Kind of news. Just also you can promote another news. This is about some concert. You can make artist profiles. This is artists who have been in the Womex selection, but even you come without showcases. You can create an artist profile with a little biography, with photos, with some songs embedded, with the lineup, with the links to website, Instagram, etc. And you can build these profiles. That's a nice tool if you represent artists to make sure to have these profiles done. And if you contact somebody through Virtual Womex, then they just will see very quickly, you know, what is embedded to your profile, and they can see what are your activities. Another profile. Also, you can create events. An event can be some gigs, some festivals, etc., etc. And again, that doesn't have to be for now. It can be also next February, next May, etc. And then the most important thing maybe in Virtual Womex is a search. If you are logged in, you have to be logged in, you will be able to make search, and I recommend you to use this tool called Advanced Search. And you will see, again, there's a 24, sorry, but you have two ways of searching. You can search amongst companies, or you can search amongst the delegate database. So my advice for now, until Womex, is to search only people attending Womex. So if it's a company, you click Womex Delegate 25. If it's a delegate, you just put the participation Womex 25, because for now you can concentrate only on people you can meet in person. Later, if in January, I would be interested in finding more journalists in Europe, or finding some booking agencies in France, etc., then you can search, and it doesn't matter. You don't have to put the year. You can search in different participation. Even agencies you were last year, maybe you don't come this year, but then you have a very big database. So that's important to use it on both ways. Also, you can search geographically. What are the, I'm looking in a specific continent, in a specific country. You can look for activities. So this is really a very nice search, and it can make you contact with people. It will be easier than contacting them like out of the blue. You can also search the news, the artists, the events, the records in the database. I go very fast. Also, we have what we call the on-demand section. This section is only accessible also to people who have a valid account. We present some recordings of conference sessions. of the last years and of this year also, you will also be able to access some of the films of this year. You will see after Womex, we will send you some emails saying, okay, you have access to some of these movies for 10 days, and then the month after, you will be able to access some of the movies. So that's a nice way to catch up. If you have any questions, you write to virtual@womex.com. Our colleagues of Virtual Womex will answer. We have also a big FAQ section if you have any troubles or any doubts. Also, an important thing, we have the Womex app. The ones for Android just went on in the stores, and I think in the Apple Store it's going to be in a few days. Make sure to have the Womex app on your phone, because you will have all the program updates. You can also click and choose your favorites, but you can also, if you are connected with your virtual Womex account, they are linked, the app and the virtual Womex, you can message each delegate. So we have also this messaging tool, which is very, very useful. And so make sure to have the app. You can also having access offline. So even if you don't have internet, if you upgrade the app when you have internet, then you can access. So that's very important, especially maybe if some of you don't have full internet access during Womex. I would like to ask, how much time do we have more?
Go ahead.
Hello?
Quer falar, Daniel?
In theory, we would be finishing in a few minutes, but as long as there are people here, like, we can keep it going.
Okay.
Like for extra 10 to 15 minutes, it usually takes around this.
Excellent, thank you. One thing I wanted to say, I guess most of you are arriving already on Tuesday on 21st or Wednesday 22nd. Can you put your thumbs? That looks good. Because for the people who have attended some Womex Academy online preparations, for the ones who are already there on Wednesday afternoon, I organize a little gathering, because it is not always easy, especially if you come for the first time, to connect, to know how to network. And I will do a session. We will have some delegation coming from Germany, from the German Music Export Office. We'll have a delegation from Ukraine. We'll have a delegation from the Sibelius Academy in Helsinki. From the students who are just about to enter the professional world. And many of you, from the Brazilian delegation were last year already. And that's a very good way also just to start connecting. And before you jump into the huge pool of the Womex world, it is a more, I would say, a more caring and friendly, even if of course it's a friendly pool, way to connect and to exchange. So if someone of you are available, I would like to know how many people more or less will come, and I will send the information about where do we meet. We will have a little bit of introduction, how to network, the best way to connect, and then we will practice it live. So make sure, I will share the information with Daniel and Flavio, so make sure to be present. Before I think I go, the best way is to go now to, I would like to share a little bit of information on the conference. And while I'm looking for that, I would like to say a few words about, it can be especially if it's your first time, it can be a little bit much information. And it is important that each of you finds his and her own way. We are all very different in the way we connect, in the way we interact on the professional level. And our work in the cultural field is also very human. So some people connect a lot at the conference. Some people connect a lot at night at the bar. Some people make their best connection on the dance floor. Each of it is completely valid, but just find your way. And please don't feel too much pressure. We know, and I will also say a few words on that on the Wednesday session, mental health is a very important issue, and mental health in the music professional field is particularly challenging. We have way more depression, burnouts, everything that in many other professions. And it's not what we want. We want really that every person finds his own way, her own way. And it's not because your colleague will have 30 meetings and you have only 10 that you are a bad professional. So it is super important, and it's not only about yourself, it's about other people. It's also important when you're in delegation. If you see that somebody seems a little bit unwell, it's good that we take care of each other. And so we have to have this solidarity and caring space. I hope I have a little bit of time to talk about it on the Wednesday. So the last thing I wanted to show you is conference, because we have different formats and people sometimes tend to forget that sometimes going to a conference is as valuable as having 3 or 4 business meetings or more. So we have different formats. We have what we call the conference sessions. These are the jury selected sessions. We have very different topics, some very practical, some more almost philosophical. One practical, which is a very important one, is about artist residencies. Then we have one about Roman artists and their space. Diversifying concert hall, it's about, the place of global music in concert hall, which is not big enough. So we have a person from the Barbican, or a person from Classical Next. So if you think your music can fit into concert halls, it's a good one to go. We have one about indigenous women from the Pacific region. But maybe if we have indigenous women from Brazil, we had a conference last year about that, then that can be interesting to go and maybe connect with them and create some links. Also, we have a conference about artificial intelligence, but with a global South perspective. We have André Bourgeois being one of the speakers, and then a speaker from Nigeria and one from Zimbabwe. And it's important that we address AI also in another perspective than just the very centered in the Western English-speaking world. We have a conference about more the sustainability and nature as a collaborator. We have a conference about queering electronic music from the Philippines. We have a conference about soca with very super interesting Caribbean speakers. Also about artistic freedom. And we have these 2 conferences about sync, which I really advise people be more in the recording industry to go. For those who never been at Womex, we always start the conference program with the Womex orientation for new delegates. Also, don't miss it. Even maybe you will have some session preparing you, but don't miss it because you will meet people who will be in the same situation than you. And this is always a good way to meet and check with new persons. I go very quick to other networking sessions format. We have networking sessions, which are sessions, it's not a conference, these are meeting spaces for people working around the same thematic. This thematic can be, the first one is advocacy. Many of us have to work about our advocacy. We will have working groups in artist mobility, in funding, in artists at risk, in sustainability and inclusivity, especially for disabled persons. We have the Africa networking session. It's not only for African delegates, it's also for people who are interested to work with Africa or with African music. So if you work with Afro-Brazilian music, that's a session I would recommend to go. We have the All Americas networking session, which, Daniel, you know, you have been last year part of it. So you know it's important because we will have people from Canada to Chile. And it's important to connect with the continent or continents. We have the festivals networking session, which is open only to festival organizers. If you're a festival, go, because you will connect with colleagues running festivals. It's not easy to run festivals nowadays, very, very hard about funding, but also about many other issues about adapting to new environment. So it is also a great session to go to connect. Also, we have the session about the for music managers, which is not just for music managers. If, for example, you're an artist and you are looking for a manager, go there. Maybe you will not find a manager right now, but you will know what is the work of a manager. You will know way better what to expect from a manager, what not to expect, because sometimes expectations can be very fluid, no? Also a session for the labels, but this one, it says specifically artist welcome. So if you're an artist representative, if you're an artist yourself, if you want to understand better about what is a work of a label, what can I connect better with a label, etc. That's a session which can be very interesting for you. Pan-Indigenous networking session, if you are working with Indigenous people, if you are yourself Indigenous, that's a session which I would really advise to go. We have since last year Queer Connection networking session, which has been very, very good and created many important things. Here again, not only if you are queer, but if you want to open more spaces for queer persons, that's also a session you can visit. And we have a traditional Women of the World session. If you're a woman or non-binary, non-cis male, go, because you will also make very great contact with colleagues, and you will see it's a very solid space of solidarity and exchange. Going further to other formats, we have also what we call the mentoring sessions. These sessions are done. It is a 1 hour session, and if you go, if you sign, it's for 1 hour, make sure. It is mentoring in small group, usually like 6 to 10 persons, let's put it that way, with very different topics. And then you have this meeting for 1 hour with a mentor. You can bring your questions, or you can just go and listen to the questions of the other people attending. But it's really a good way to have a mentoring on a specific area. So these are very different topics. It can be exploring live music markets in France, Black women in music, which are run by really, really nice, dynamic young ladies, legal issues, monetization, trans non-binary, also a more like energetic, I don't want to say philosophic, but more in a deeper work about artists and the way, the transformative way, and artists, how you can respect your energy. What is important is that these sessions you have to sign up, and places are limited. So we opened the registration for mentoring yesterday. So it is a very good moment to have this session here, and it is the best moment for you to check it and register if you see something which is interesting for you. We have also associated presentations, and I would say one more specifically can be interesting for you is the diversity of Ibero-American music, where we'll have also some speakers from Brazil. And it is, of course, about connecting Ibero-America and also the Peninsula, so also Europe, I mean, within South America, but also with the Europe. And as we will go next year, now it has been announced, Womex will be next year in Spain, in Gran Canaria. It is also a good way to make the connection for next year. I would like to leave maybe the space for 1 or 2 questions. Yes, DJ Ma'am, hello.
The one and only.
Christina,
Hello, how are you?
I've been participating in the last 10 years of Womex. I just would like to share my experience with my colleagues, with someone that is in doubt to go. It's just say what's going on in my life nowadays, and how I'm so thankful to Womex, also BM&A. So I wrote briefly just to tell about Christina. So I met Christina in this network. She's a good reason also to go to Womex. For example, I met Christina in Cape Verde. She was helping to organize the first biggest fair in Africa, and also in 2013 there, and also in Germany in festivals with a Francis guy in 2023 in Cosmo Festival. And there, 10 years after I met her, she was with a crew from Africa, in a really nice crew from DJs, and also in last year in Fusion Festival. So this is Christina. She's the big boss there, but also she's looking, yes, she's looking around the world, and then from the dance floor to the stage. It's so nice for us to know that people like you is in front of Womex, because you are in the, as you say in Brazil, in the rolê, you know, looking at what's going on. So, and
would you like to be my manager?
What? Oh yeah,
you want to be my manager?
For sure. And my experience in Womex, and also with BM&A, and also with Iber Música, is in 2016 with like Daniel with Bexiga 70 from BM&A. We went to Paris to do Festival d'Île-de-France, and 10 years after, again 10 years in Womex, last year with Olivier. He was in Womex with Sabine, and for the first time I'm going to Europe with 12 people. We are going with 2 indigenous nations to the France-Brazil season, and this is the biggest money that we are doing in all my career. So is the best way to go there, to all the expenses. And yes, this talk is to incentivize. We maybe wait not 10 years, but a lot of things happen during these years. But yes, it's if you can invest, it's a good way. I went the last year with the help for Iber Músicas. So with it, all the public editals, BM&A, Womex, it's vale a pena, galera. It's a nice goal. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm trying. I try and go to these years, but if I'm not be there, I'm so grateful for all the partnerships. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's super important what you are saying, because it takes time, you know. Sometimes contract you do 1 year, it will bring some fruits maybe 3 years later, and that's something which is important to be able to be on the long run, because to be patient and to be sure that the contacts you make, you keep them. Even if you think this person is useless, it doesn't matter. Every person can be super useful, and so don't sit on the short notice, yeah. And for example, yeah, you were on a festival 10 years ago in France. In the meantime, the person who was running this festival programs the performing arts in one of the most beautiful museums in Paris. And he does a fantastic work, you know, so you never know. And then, and one
Let's
thing
just say, I wrote in Club Summit for 3 times. I still keeping writing, and is it also showcase if people, if you like writing? But being Womex, for example, in 2023, I was in Lisbon, and a guy who listened to my music and saw a show 10 years before in Brazil, the guy from Colors of Ostrava, Felipe, he wrote to me, "Oh, you are in Womex." He saw my picture. And last year, I was once more with Bexiga 70. We were in Colors of Ostrava in Czech Republic. So being there is nice. It's magical. And go there. Who can go. If I can help, I help you also. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And you forgot one thing. We met probably at Porto Musical in Recife because I was.
Oh, yes. 2009.
We were involved in Porto Musical many years ago. Thank you, and that's a very valuable testimony. Anybody who has a question, some doubt, some whatever comments?
Quem tem alguma pergunta, pessoal? Quer comentar alguma coisa? Obrigado, Man, pelo depoimento também.
Yes, we're running out of time.
Okay, but
we
really,
have time for one question, maybe if anyone has it, but we need to get going to the. We need to keep
going. Yeah, one thing is really, I will share. You know, the thing about meeting on Wednesday or in person, and it's really a special thing just for you, boys and girls, because you are in this space now, and.
Christine,
make sure to come.
I think we can do it on Wednesday.
Wednesday afternoon.
But do you want to set a specific time?
I will send you, that probably will be around 4.
Okay, we can send to print it in the program and everything else.
Okay. I'm just waiting for the last confirmation. Would it be okay for you at 4?
Yes, of course.
I will send you the information with we have a dedicated room.
Okay.
And okay. Let's say at 4, so now it's done, and I will invite the others, the Germans and the Ukrainians and a few other people.
Okay.
Okay. So very nice to see you. So if there is time for one question, I take it. If not, let's meet in person and have more time.
Oh yeah.
Because the frustrating part for me is I didn't have time to meet every of these beautiful persons in the room. That's why I hope that we meet on the Wednesday afternoon before the craziness starts.
Definitely.
We're sorry we don't have the time to introduce everyone. It's a big delegation. We have the other sessions, so they will have the time.
I understand. Okay. Thank you so much, Daniel, Flavio.
Have a nice weekend.
Everybody.
Pessoal, deixa eu só passar um recadinho para vocês antes de terminar. Como vocês perceberam, tem essa importância de fazer o cadastro no Womex virtual. Quem não fez ainda tem que usar o código que recebeu por e-mail para fazer o cadastro no Womex virtual, porque realmente está tudo lá, os contatos, as conferências, o programa. Então, não esqueçam de fazer isso, além de mandar as informações para o catálogo que o Nairon pediu no começo da reunião, fotos, etc. E estamos à disposição, tem um grupo de WhatsApp também, para quem ficou com dúvidas. É isso, muito obrigado. Obrigado, DJ Man, pelo depoimento e pela energia na sexta-feira. Parabéns por conseguir chegar na sexta-feira assim. Então é isso, gente. Thank you, Christine, again. See you very soon.
Obrigada. See you. Safe travels
See
to
you
Finland.
guys.
And make sure to bring some
Yeah.
work clothes, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.